Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the DansGolfWorld Podcast, the absolute, hands-down, #1 greatest golf podcast in this entire room. And I'm proud to be the host of it, your host, Dan Evans, joined by producer, sidekick, amigo, Mr. Josh Boger.
What's up, guys?
And friend of the show, first-timer here in the studio, Mr. Gary Vale. Gary, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
First guest.
First guest.
Yeah.
You know, we had to do a little rearranging, but I feel like it is well worth it to bring some fresh new energy and blood to the show. Are you nervous, Gary?
Not at all.
You know what? And I didn't get that vibe from you. Like, I feel some confidence. Like, you can handle a studio. I like this.
Absolutely.
He's been ready for months.
He was born for this day. I'll tell you what, I'm in a weird vibe right now. I'm in a very weird vibe. PGA Tour ended a couple weeks ago. LIV Golf just wrapped up. They just had their team championship last weekend. And now we're like out of the regular golf season for watching pro golf. I mean, there is like the PGA fall FedEx Cup, they call it, of a bunch of non-important tournaments. We do have the President's Cup this weekend.
Let's go.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, it kind of gives us maybe like a last hurrah of potentially some like real competitive golf, seeing some big names out there. With the LIV Golf players still excluded, kind of makes it a little lackluster for me. Gary, do you think they need to, evolve this system and get these guys involved in all these big tournaments or what?
I think so, absolutely. Because like right when LIV started, I was like, there's no way they're going to not exclude these guys because one, what's everything down to is money. And to not have these big names and these awesome golfers come out, they're just going to lose out on potential viewers. So it's like they have to get to a point where they included everybody.
I do feel like we made some major strides this week.
We did.
The Ryder Cup made some official adjustments, which I think is a good thing. They gathered together with the PGA of America and the PGA Tour, I guess, to somehow come to an agreement that the LIV Golf players have an open hall pass to play on the U.S. Ryder Cup team. There has not been announcements made for the European Ryder Cup team. They're going to be struggling without Jon Rahm.
Yeah.
But I do feel like that was, an important announcement. I feel like we're seeing some evolution in golf. I mean, Josh, we've been kind of going on about this for weeks now, that it's a messed up system and it needs to evolve. And I feel like we're starting to get there.
Yeah, I just had this feeling with this whole merger that they're trying to do. I feel like this is like a placebo effect.
Okay.
It's like,
please explain. Take me there. I want to go down this rabbit hole.
I feel like they're going to be able to play, no problem. But I feel like the path to get there is going to be borderline impossible. It's going to be like they're able to play, but
they could do something like they're like, okay, LIV golfers, you are more than welcome to join us in the Ryder Cup if you have enough FedEx Cup points.
Yeah,
something stupid.
Yeah,
I hope not. I mean, at least we know that would leave open their eligibility for captain's picks.
Yeah, that is true.
You know, come on, Keegan Bradley. I mean, he said it in an interview already. I'm struggling with that. In an interview.
Enemy.
Thank you. That, he said he just wants the best golfers in the world on his team.
Sure.
And I like that. I like that spirit. If you're going to be the captain, I don't want, listen. Was it season 2 a full swing where we got into the Ryder Cup, or was that season 1?
Where he's picking his buddies rather than
we saw Zach Johnson do a little bit of buddy picking. Here's the thing, though.
Which is understandable, though.
I don't want to get too wild on that because I love watching Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth in a Ryder Cup 100%. Situation. Gary, you went to a Ryder Cup. Which one did you go to?
I went to the one where they lost to Europe back in at Medina.
Who were some of the highlight players you got to see?
Oh, I saw Tiger. It was awesome because at 6 a.m, everybody's yelling USA, USA, and then it periodically just transferred to ole, 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 and you're just like, oh no.
Was your dad like, stop olaying?
I'm like, I'm not olaying. I swear to God, Dad.
It was just fun. I don't know.
So you both been to Ryder Cups.
Yeah, you are Ryder Cupless.
I am the Ryder Cup virgin.
You are.
But you've only been playing for a couple of years.
I've only been playing for a couple months.
And you're making some tremendous strides in your game, and it's pretty impressive and fun to watch.
Well, yeah, I just got to get out there more.
Yeah.
Gary, you have been along for this summer's long journey of Josh sort of coming into his adulthood of golf.
Sure.
What's your take?
just keep doing what you're doing, bang balls. Like, honestly, if you want to become a great golfer, just go to the range, hit a bucket of balls a night at the 100 or a bucket of balls a night at the 75-yard marker, because from 120 in, that's what golf is.
Yeah.
You do that and you stay calm and confident, you got this thing down, dude.
Yeah, I got the driver all locked. Now it's just the irons. My iron game it's almost like if I don't full swing, or like if I do like those 50% swings, I'm digging in the ground.
Sure.
The club head just falls too fast.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Start yanking on the club handle.
Yeah.
Lot starts going bad.
Tempo's everything.
Tempo's everything.
Freddie Couples, boom, boom, baby. I actually think about that, like boom, boom, when you're swinging.
I was up really late last night on ChatGPT brainstorming what I believe would be the greatest golf app on the planet.
Okay.
I'm not going to disclose very much, but there are features in it that have games that teach you tempo.
Oh, cool.
And it's all like audio based. None of it exists.
I've been wanting to.
But how
practice.
sick would that be?
That'd be sick. I've been wanting to practice with like a metronome.
I'm telling you. And listen, for the slight chance that I could ever bring this concept to fruition, or that AI could just build it for me, I'm not going to give too many details. However, I will say I got it like in this flow state on ChatGPT of building what I think would be the greatest golf training app / game in existence.
That's kind of fun and exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You know who does not need a golf app? Bryson DeChambeau.
Oh, no, he doesn't.
You know what I mean?
No, he doesn't.
I feel like the golf app would be based on him.
Yeah.
So Bryson and his team were leading in points going into the LIV Golf Team Championship down in Dallas, the Merrido Golf Club, which I was out at about a month ago doing a press day with LIV Golf. That was the day we got to film the Salty Balls with Bryson. They went into the weekend leading on points. They did not leave the weekend leading on points.
No, they did not.
I thought they had it. They were leading pretty much most of the season as a team. Mm-hmm. And I thought we were going to see Bryson DeChambeau's Crushers, which I wore the entire Bryson DeChambeau outfit last week. I felt like, I maybe could have hit the ball about 200 yards longer just from the outfit.
Absolutely.
I didn't test it because I don't want to prove myself wrong.
It's the placebos.
Now, was that the podcast jinx?
Oh no, we did. Did we do it again?
Because I did it with Smash.
Yeah.
Because Smash took that last.
Yeah, we might have done it again. We have a very, very strong record of making predictions that lead to an absolute curse.
Yeah.
For players in important tournaments.
The only one we got right was Scotty at the.
Just to win. I mean,
at the Tour Championship.
He's a perfect storm of golf.
Yeah, and that wasn't a tough one because he did start 10 under.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, who needs Scotty Scheffler to have a 10-stroke lead? Like, that's just... But I did watch a thing. Did you see that where he talks about when he plays golf with friends that he plays to like a +6?
Yeah.
Like +6.
When he's really like a +15.
He's like a plus infinity.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? So like if you're a +6, see, when I think of +6, I think of you have 6
Over par.
So there's
you have
scratch,
a 6 handicap.
Like for me, I'm an 8 roughly. Technically, I'm a -8.
Okay.
I'm 8 strokes from shooting par. He is a +6, so their scratch would be 0, and then a +1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's 6 strokes beyond scratch.
Oh, I didn't know that was actually a thing in golf.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At Tigers Country Club, I think it was the medalist in Jupiter, Florida. He was like +16.
Jesus.
And there's that story of him playing with Mark O'Meara, who he shot like a 60 or something the day before, and then he goes out with Mark and he shoots birdie, eagle hole in one, and Mark just drove off to his house.
He just quit.
Wow.
If you were like to leave me after that, I'd be like, we are not friends anymore.
There is nothing worse than humiliating somebody to the point where they just straight up quit.
And it's Mark O'Meara.
Like, this is stupid, and I'm going home.
That kind of blows my mind because that's the only sport that gives you a plus handicap
Yeah.
for stuff. Like with bowling, I'm a scratch bowler. There's no way you could get.
I think because it's the only sport where the score is sort of borderline unlimited beyond. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
not like bowling 300. There's not like, well, I got 301, I beat you. Like there's no such thing.
Sure.
There's mathematically no part of the game in a single round of bowling that you could shoot beyond 300. But in golf, you can shoot beyond scratch.
Sure.
Like there's par for the course. I beat the par. I dominated this course. But Scotty Scheffler giving 6 strokes to a scratch golfer is insane.
It's ridiculous.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Even if I'm an 8 and I get 6 strokes from Scotty, I think he's beating me by far more than 14.
Oh, if he gave me 6 shots and we're playing it like at one of our courses, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm probably going to shoot like 75, 77. He's going to shoot 65 easily.
Yeah.
If not less, because these courses that we play aren't 7,000 yards and stuff.
Right. I mean, comparatively speaking, I mean, we look at, whatever, Pinehurst number 2, tuned up for U.S. Open quality.
Oh, yeah.
Versus us playing a local track.
Sure.
And where these guys can just pound the ball. It does, they can kind of recover from anywhere, so they've got no risk.
Sure.
And there's not like these 330-yard carry water hazards and things like that. I mean, it's a lot of straightforward golf compared to how they play. And I think we would be annihilated.
What do you think there are any YouTube golfers that if they challenge Scotty Scheffler for 6 strokes, who do you think
Grant Horvat.
You think so?
I didn't finish watching it, but there is a Grant Horvat versus Tony Finau.
That was awesome.
I have not seen it yet.
I don't know how it finished, so I can't report on that, but I do know that did Tony give him 5 or 6? I thought it was 6.
Something around there, but the video almost isn't even about golf. It's like them talking. It's really good.
I've only seen it like the clips on TikTok. I haven't seen the full length YouTube. And some of the very cool conversations that Tony Finau and Grant Horvat were having were wildly interesting. There was one he was telling, speaking of Ryder Cup, Grant asked Tony about one of his favorite Ryder Cup moments, and he said that Jim Furyk, team captain, this whole story about having them go first, and he was paired with Koepka. And I love it. He said, like, Koepka's my friend. He's like, I don't care about anything. Like, he's like a for real friend. He's a real deal dude. I don't care about any of the politics in golf. Like, he's a real homie. And I was like, I love that right away. Like, because we've heard so much about this. Like,
Brooks is so cool.
He seems like it. He seems like if you're in his circle, he's cool. Like, if you're outside of his circle, maybe,
I don't
who
think
knows?
people understand how much pressure he puts on himself.
A lot.
Yeah,
he puts a
tons.
lot.
And so it kind of wound up in a way where Tony Finau and Koepka were going to tee off first tee on the first day.
Okay.
And he said, I think he said we were the away team, I think he said, or we were the home team. However it worked out, I don't remember the rest of the story or what year it was, but he said they were like literally first. Like we were going to hit the first tee shot of the entire Ryder Cup.
Oh, yeah.
And he said to Brooks, he was like, do you want first or do you want me to take it? And he was like, Brooks goes, no, you're taking it. Like, you are. And he was like, okay. And he just talked about like the adrenaline, the nerves of being the first shot of an entire Ryder Cup
in Italy.
Oh my God. And he said it was like, adrenaline, everything. And he told Grant, he was like, I hit my 3-iron like 290. He's like, I just blistered it. It was perfect. He goes, I almost rolled into this water that was 300 that like I was trying to lay up from. Ended up hitting it fine, stayed short, beautiful shot. He said, but it was one of the most memorable moments of his life. And I couldn't imagine. I mean, I can't imagine being able to perform under the levels of pressure that these guys handle on a weekly basis.
It's got to be fun though, because like I literally like love when you go through a group and you have to hit in front of people you don't know, and like you see somebody coming up from the pro shop and you're fumbling with your bag, but really you're just waiting for them to come up so you can hit a cool shot in front of them.
Josh, what's the highest pressure moment you've seen in your fairly short-lived golf career so far?
Like with me or with any other people?
Just you, like where you felt, I feel the most pressure standing over the ball right now.
When we made our video.
Ooh. The opening tee shot, or was there a particular shot within it where the pressure built more?
Opening tee shot,
Tee shots.
I did on
we
the
won't
tee.
get into it. If you haven't seen it, there was a few tee shots. He got a chance to warm up a little. It was great. Very fun, very funny.
But I'll tell you something, my game, you've seen my game since that video.
Yeah.
It's like a night and day difference.
I think that's one of the most fun parts of being in the early stages of your golf career is how quick that you can improve.
Sure.
I mean, just slight little things,
100%.
and you're seeing massive change on the golf course. Whereas, Gary, you've been playing for a very long time. When did you start playing golf?
Started hitting the ball when I was 2.
When you were 2. So at this point, improvements are such minor tweaks.
Sure.
You're not knocking, 4 strokes off a round and then living in that new score. It's like, no, I shot 1 less. I picked up a stroke here. I made this long putt there. And percentage-wise, it is moving the needle potentially, that 2% on the score, 3% on the score. But 3% on the score when you're just
Brand
starting out
spanking new, yeah.
is a lot of strokes. And it's a
Absolutely.
lot of fun to see.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost like a video game theory, where in the beginning you advance levels quick and you earn points right away to get you kind of sucked in, but then later on the levels are really hard and they take
Absolutely.
forever. Gary, how about yourself? Do you have a particular moment that stands out in life for a high pressure shot moment that you can recall?
Well, definitely like the biggest amount of people that I've ever hit a golf ball in front of was at the Rosemont golf show way back when I was I think I was 19, 18, and John
Okay.
Daly's up there in a simulator, and he's giving out pointers, answering questions. So I'm like, hey John, little mano you and me, one-on-one, long drive.
You called John Daly out
100%.
at 18, 19 years old
Yes.
for a long drive contest.
Yes. And I walk
Wow.
up and I have my
The confidence level.
Oh, I couldn't wait.
Unbelievable.
I couldn't wait. And
Palpable.
My dad's like, so I get up there and
Run!
I was like, so you got a glove? He's like, I don't got a glove. You don't get a glove. I'm like, oh, all right.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Daly.
You got it,
I'll
sir.
never wear a glove again today.
Take it easy, JD. And so I hit a bomb. I hit it 310. And it was perfect. I was so happy. And it wasn't off to the right. It was down
Yeah.
the middle. So he steps up and hits it 321. And I get done and we shake hands. He's like, so where's the party at tonight, college kid? I'm like, wherever you want to go,
Yeah.
we're going to go. He's like, nice hat, by the way, because I had my Jack Daniels hat on.
Wow.
So that was
what a fun moment.
Dude, it was so. And my dad's like, you're insane. And I'm like,
Facts.
yeah, 100%. And I was just like, dude, that'll be in my memory bank forever.
That's core memory material right
Absolutely.
there. Wow.
Absolutely.
I feel like what a great person for that opportunity to sort of align
yeah.
with. You know what I mean?
Because he's such a dude's dude
Yeah.
that you don't feel nervous. You're like, oh, I'm just out with the boys right now.
For 100%.
Yeah.
And somehow, I don't know if it's like an energy thing or if it's the way we perceive him from his golf career or maybe it's all of it. And maybe his golf career is because of his energy and whatever it is. But there's sort of a vibe with John Daly where it's just like, yo,
What's up, bro?
Instead of hello, Mr. Daly, may I please
yeah.
have a tiny autograph on the brim of my hat? It's more like, what is John gonna mean?
I would do that lost $60 million at the casino and it didn't hurt him.
It didn't make a dent.
Didn't hurt him.
Not at all. I'm not sure of a golfer that I can think of that would sort of take that scenario better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Rory's gonna, kind of have as much fun in that situation.
Sure.
He didn't even look like he was having fun with Spider-Man.
Oh, Tom Holland?
Yeah.
I love Tom Holland.
Dude, that kid's got a great swing.
He does.
He really does.
Did you see the video of him trying to hit it off the deck?
He was hitting DOD, and he said something like, "If I whatever the shot, can I be on?"
Well, the guy's like,
the Ryder
if
Cup team
you
or
hit
something.
on this green, I will bring you to the Ryder Cup. And he didn't do it. And he's like, still.
Give me one more. Give me one more.
Yeah. Can I still go?
I would be curious to know if that was Tom Holland's highest pressure moment. I mean, he's golfed in front of
That's-
people.
He says it's a lot of nerves or very nerve-wracking for him to do that golf and stuff.
I would imagine, though, that moment where there was sort of this teasing of a Ryder Cup opportunity. So now you're in front of all those people.
Sure.
And now you add sort of this gravity to the shots.
Well, critically analyze it, though. He could easily afford to go pay for himself to go. So it's
Yeah.
got to be a little bit less stress,
Yeah, but I imagine it wasn't about getting some a free flight on Southwest or something. It was about the potential for access.
If you do it, you're flying Spirit, though.
Yeah, I swear.
He's got a good relationship with the DP World Tour.
Tom Holland?
Yeah.
He probably has a good relationship with everybody because he's cool and he's good
Nicest
looking.
kid.
And he's
Ever.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So going back to what you said, I already know your answer to this question. What is the thing that makes you unnervous before you hit? What do you go into before you hit that shot that might be nerve-wracking?
For me, ultimately, it's pre-shot routine. Once I can settle into these following series of steps.
Sure.
That to me is what helps sort of quiet the mind, quiet the situation, and it sort of, I don't know, releases some of the gravity you're feeling of the moment. And for me, it's everything's going on. Your head's kind of flying everywhere. Okay, how did they hit? How do I need to hit? All the stuff's going on. And then you get to that spot, if let's just say we're on the tee, you get up, I put my tee in the ground. I kind of stand behind the ball. I take a practice swing just to make sure it's level. The ball's, everything's where I need it. And then I go stand behind the ball. And then that's when the volume for me turns down.
Sure.
And when I'm standing behind the ball, and I've got the ball in front of me, and I'm looking down the fairway, and I'm sort of imagining the shot, and I kind of understand, I'm like, I can do this. This is very simple. Whatever it is. Take that deep breath.
I thought you were immediately going to say you just pretend you're at the driving range.
I think, well, yes, that to me is the feel once I get up to the ball.
Okay.
But it's sort of like a process. I can't be like crazy. Oh, just I'm at the driving range. To me, it's like I've got to quiet it all down, get up to the ball. Because at this point, I haven't like imagined the swing force. I've just imagined sort of the line, how it's going to play. For me, once I get over the ball and I take a few waggles and I'm standing there and I've got a grip and I'm standing over the ball and I kind of like take this like little waggle turn and like look down at my target line, right then is when I'm processing the amount of sort of turn I'm going to put into the ball.
And then your muscle memory kicks in because you've done it so many times that you could just,
And so that's the point where I have that sort of the driving range recall, especially if it's like a 100-yard shot, like you said, hit a bucket at the 100-yard sign. We've done that so many times. At that point, when I'm like sort of imagining how much feel I'm going to put into this ball, that's when I cue something that is memorable that I've done a lot of times that I'm just going to repeat.
Sure.
And maybe if it's a tee shot, it's a fairway that I've driven 1,000,000 times. Like it's just a hole that I love that plays my shape or whatever it is. So like right before I have that swing, that hole will pop into my head, or that 100-yard bucket will pop into my head, or that thing that is like that deep sort of internal cue of how much shot to give this shot.
Sure.
Velocity. Thank you. It's a great word, and I probably can't spell it.
Can't spell velocity?
No, you could totally spell it. He's being humble.
Listen, spell check's a wonderful thing. Either way, anyway, that's sort of like my process for quieting it down, stepping into a moment, and using sort of my history of golf to, I don't know, just remind my body that it knows how to do this.
And it's funny because like I like playing in front of people, but like the other day, like on number 2 at Odyssey, I had the whole high school team that knows me up there, and I shook everybody's hand, and we had a good old time, and then they all kind of like filtered down to the second. And I'm like, last one to hit, because I let everybody hit because I was saying hi. And like honestly, like I did this thing, putting the tee in. I'm like, wow, I'm actually nervous a little bit. So like I allowed myself to say it's okay to be nervous.
Yeah.
Because you have to admit it. Because I always feel like emotions are like rooms, and if you don't admit it, you can't find the key to get in the next room. Ooh. So as soon as I like understood how nervous I was for a second, I was like, okay, take a longer club, swing a little softer, and you have the velocity in my hands, be a little bit more in tune with my chest. So, and I mean, I hit a good shot, and everybody, it was really, really fun. But at that moment, I was like, wow, it really would suck to feel like this over the ball all the time, which I'm sure a lot of people do. So when it comes to the mental game, that's where people really have to understand, like you have to figure out how to bypass these emotions.
Well, I think what's interesting is, there'd be two schools of thought, and I appreciate the school of thought that you went down. A lot of people would say, I've got a lot of adrenaline right now. This ball's going to go long.
Sure.
So I'm expecting more ball, as opposed to you said, hey, let's just swing relaxed, add a little club, calm down, and let this thing go. And I feel like that gives yourself a place of like a goal. It's like to swing less, feel 75% or whatever that number was for you, instead of going, oh man, I'm going to be swinging 110 with all these people looking, and then just sort of allow this thing to happen instead of controlling this thing that's going to happen.
Absolutely. And like I always like look at all the pro swings like Rory and Freddie, like their swings are beautiful.
Yeah.
And there's no like craziness to it. So like everybody wants to hit the ball far. And the number one thing everybody asks at the driving range is like, what's your furthest drive? I'm like, that who cares? What's the least amount of putts you've ever taken in a round? And they don't have an answer because
nobody counts that.
I mean, like that's the number one thing that you have to be good, because you're using your driver 15 times in a round, and you're using your putter maybe, who knows? I mean, definitely
even,
over.
Let's just say you have a good round, and standard golfer, you putt twice every hole, which is great golf. I mean, obviously, if you can just 2-putt, never 3-putt,
absolutely,
you're hitting it 36 times.
100%.
You using that? There's no other club in your bag you've hit 36 times, unless it's me and my wedge trying to get out of a bunker. That could be 36 times. We're not going to get into that. That is way off topic. But that is a great point. It's the most used club in the bag, and it's generally, for most average golfers, the least practiced club in the bag.
Now, what's your number one putt thought process? Because I always tell people...
Don't suck.
Oh, Billy.
I developed something from playing indoor golf.
Oh, okay.
And with indoor golf, what I actually find really interesting is a lot of times if you're playing indoor golf that has the ability for putting.
Sure.
There's usually a screen that's 8 or 10 feet in front of you. And then, but in your mind, you have to know, but I'm hitting a 40-foot putt.
Sure.
So what is 40 feet?
Yes.
Like this is, even though that screen is only 10, I need to know what 40 feet feels like right in front of me. And, you know, from playing on quite a few indoor golf leagues, several with you, I feel like there was something in that where I started getting like tuned to 36 feet. Like that's like here to here.
Sure.
24 feet. That's like here to here. Where I could start to like have this like internal feeling.
Yes.
Wherever that is, wherever that lives.
Isn't that a great feeling?
It really is.
I love that.
And it's something you can sort of lean on and rely on. So then when I would get out on the course, well, maybe the greens aren't rolling as fast as this indoor round I played, or there's more break or this or that. I would still in my mind go, I'm going to use the 24-foot movement.
Yeah.
And then kind of have that and then see where it goes and see how that worked. It was like, okay, that was too much. These are rolling too fast. I should have used a 20-foot or a 16-foot movement. But it gave me just sort of like these different like check lines and baselines of understanding like this amount of movement equals this amount of feet.
Sure.
Generally speaking. And then you sort of add plus and minus based upon the the green of the ball.
And then you don't have to do the math because, like, when you're doing simulators, you're looking at how many inches is it up or how many feet, which then depicts how many, more feet or less feet you have to add or take away.
Yeah.
I would just tell people, like, when you're looking at the hole, if you were to throw your ball like that, that's the same velocity that you need to bring your hands through. And I tell everybody that, and they're like, man, that is the greatest tip I've ever got for putting.
You ever seen that putting drill where you have the ball sitting down and you put your club up against the ball and then you just sort of like shoo the ball towards it? So you never make an impact.
Oh, okay.
And basically you just have the ball set there. You have your putter already touching the ball.
Okay.
And you just slide it towards the hole to get an understanding of that feel, that roll, like you're saying.
Where did you learn that from?
I don't remember which swing coach I was watching.
Which millions of videos of golf.
Yeah. And then he said, okay, so now what I want you to do is now do the same thing, but start the club a little behind the ball.
Okay.
And impact, but then still shoo the ball towards the hole. And now we're getting used to that, just rolling the ball.
Which helps the follow through too, because your follow through has to be further than your backstroke. And
then now take it all the way back and just shoo the ball to the hole.
Today.
Interesting, I know. But again,
that's really cool.
It's building that sensation of the ball rolling. All right, we got to get back into golf news here. Shout out to the Rippers, Cam Smith's team.
Yep.
Hey. They did take the team championship at the LIV Golf Team Championship round this past weekend. Here's what I will tell you. I've watched, I would say about half of this season of LIV Golf. I generally watch it on YouTube. They have a YouTube live stream. So I haven't signed up for like the LIV Golf Plus within the app. I just do the YouTube thing this weekend. It was only on YouTube Friday.
Oh.
I tried Saturday, and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong. I can't get it to load. I tried Sunday.
Oh.
I did a little more research, and it wasn't airing on YouTube. I thought it was my fault. I'm like logging in and out of my account. I can't figure what's going on.
You don't make any mistakes.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah, I do. Especially because I kind of wanted to watch this team event because they changed up the format. They were doing like a 4-ball and a best ball.
That was in Dallas, right?
It was in Dallas. And I ultimately basically watched none of it, which is a little sad.
Yeah, I couldn't get around watching it either.
Good job, Cam.
But yeah, Cam Smith took first. The four aces, of course, led by Dustin Johnson, Patrick Reed. They took second. And the Ironheads, Kevin Na. Where's Kevin Na been? They took third. So good for them. John Rahm was out. So John Rahm wins the singles championship last weekend. He's the number one player in LIV Golf. 1 week later, he has severe flu symptoms.
Oh, no.
And sits out the entire weekend. And they actually had an alternate fill in for him.
How does that work? Do they have to have more guys on the roster, right? Or do they pick up a free agent when that happens?
So I don't understand where the alternates are on any given week. Are they sort of playing as like wild card players, sort of like Anthony Kim, or are they waiting in the wings, just kind of staying warm just in case somebody like stubs their toe? I don't know. Or, you know, I don't know. I think that would be something great to learn. Next week, we're going to report back and understand how the alternates work in LIV Golf. But they had John Cantlin as their fourth and not John Rahm. And I'd just be curious to know, the number one golfer on the tour missing from your team, how big of an effect does that have on your team championship? I would imagine John Rahm is probably superior to John Cantlin, and it probably could have made a big difference and potentially cost their team tens of millions of dollars. That's a tough fluke.
Oh, yeah. It's like being on a scramble team and you're like, oh, our ringer got sick. But we got another ringer, but he's not the ringer.
He was like the standby backup ringer.
Yeah.
Who was just like
I still take Conley all day, though.
staying warm all day. You know?
Oh, hey, you're playing now. Come on.
I would feel so bad. I would feel so bad.
Without John?
No, like if I just came off winning the individual championship.
And you're going to be like, hey, guys, I got a super stuffy nose. like I've got this, like, you know, post-nasal drip.
I don't know. If you're that rich, I'm going to take my break.
What I am curious of, though, is the
Passion versus
feeling
money.
of letting your team down.
Oh, yeah. I understand.
I do wonder about that, where it's not, I mean, to me, that would be like being sick for the Ryder Cup. And I know it is nowhere near the scale of the Ryder Cup.
Sure.
The Ryder Cup is its own thing, but I just want to compare, like, you know, there was a spot. There is a competition. There's a tournament, and my team was built around my performance. And coming down to the last minute, it's showtime. It's time to do it. And I'm going to be like, hey, guys, we're just going to have some other random guy who hasn't been in sort of our group dynamic all year, and he's going to jump in and lead the team.
Yeah, but like if you got to think about it, especially you know, post COVID, like you got to think like a guy that comes out when he's sick would get more flack for possibly making spectators, his players, and everybody else possibly sick. So that's like number one. Number two, do you really want a guy that's like, you know, playing that is sick? Because like, you know, he's not, it's like, unless you're Jordan and you're, you know, playing in the flu, but like all in all, the pros versus the cons of him showing up is better.
I just, it's got to be tough.
It would have been fun to see a flu week.
Yeah.
He's just got like a mask on. He's got like one of those quarantine suits on. And he's like, don't touch me, don't touch me.
Yeah. Be in a hazmat suit.
Bright yellow.
Tiger,
like E.T.
Remember when his knee was completely failing him and he was taking the swing, and then as soon as he gets through, he just winces and hits the ground?
Yes.
It'd be great for there to be like a John Rahm version. Like he swings and he just has to hurry up and like pull his hanky out and blow his nose, you know? It's like, this is my Tiger moment.
How does Rocco feel losing to Tiger on a broken leg?
That's got to be humiliating.
It's got to be rough.
It is.
And then Rocco wore Sunday red on Monday, which I loved.
I will never financially recover from this.
Talking about injuries, did you see in that video with Tony Finau and Grant where he was talking about how he dislocated his ankle?
Yes.
Oh,
at the Masters when he made the hole-in-one.
Yeah.
And oh my
And
God.
he popped it
hard to
back in.
watch.
If you haven't seen it yet and you can handle, it's sort of a cringe warning video. Tony Finau makes hole-in-one at the Masters, and he's running down the short par 3, cheering, celebrating, turns around, he's doing like a backwards run to look back at the tee, and he does the and his foot just goes like sideways, and he instantly drops to the ground, and his foot is like still sideways, and he puts his hand down there and like moves the upper part of his leg in a way where like it all just like crunches back into
to
place.
normal.
And I'll tell you something, that dislocation, like that type,
Yeah.
that should not be popped back in.
Well, and here's the thing.
That's a different type.
I'm one of those kids who like rolled their ankle a lot as a kid. I don't know, whatever it was.
I've done it, yeah.
A lot. Like I almost have like I used to have like an annual ankle roll that would
Without
just
a
take me
doubt.
out for like a month.
Yeah.
Did you
Yes.
have cankles?
They've recovered well. I played roller hockey. You know what I mean? They're strong.
My right one's permanently bigger than my left from that.
From holding up the weight of
From jumping in basketball and then falling down. And that's why I don't play basketball, dude.
No, basketball's not worth it.
No.
But I've never once, I've done some bad ones, but where I had to like crunch it back into place. That's insane. Like it's never been that bad. So I'm assuming that the worst one I've ever had doesn't compare to what Tony Finau did right there.
Oh, no. And he was such a badass about it. He came back and he recovered and he played and he did great.
It's crazy.
Yeah. What's golf,
like,
though?
I need
golf everything.
A wheelchair for like 3 weeks. Yeah.
I'm not moving after that.
Mom, bring me snacks. Yeah.
I don't know what she's doing back there.
You'll be getting a phone call saying I'm grabbing a laptop and working from home.
How about Smash GC taking last though?
It's so disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Brooks Koepka, you got Taylor Gooch.
The Gooch.
Jason Kokrak, Graham McDowell. I mean, I don't know. I just didn't expect dead last, especially to finish behind the Range Goats, which is, of course, led by Bubba Watson, who is potentially being relegated from the tour, which that's still controversial. We'll have to see how that goes because he is the captain of the team. Mm-hmm. If he gets relegated...
Get like a 2 sentence breakdown on that.
So basically, LIV Golf, as they have more players and more interest, they've come up with a point system throughout the season. And if you are in the top, I don't know, don't quote me here, top 15,
okay,
you're locked in, you stay on your team, you've done great.
So he's possibly like going to lose this team.
If you're in the bottom 5 or 8 or something like that, you are up for relegation, you're out, and you have to re-win your way back in. And then if you're in that in-between group above relegation but below locked in, you could potentially be traded.
Okay.
So you kind of go into the trade pool for the offseason, and potentially another team could pick you up.
Sure.
Get rid of somebody else who's up for trade and kind of do a little team rebuilding.
Has there been any of that yet? Or is this the first year they're doing this?
So I don't know all of the history of it. However, I do know that Matthew Wolff was on Brooks Koepka's team in the very early days. And I know there were some issues. I think, if I recall, Brooks Koepka was frustrated that he didn't feel like Matthew Wolff was putting in the level of effort he wanted out of his team. Brooks Koepka required like certain workouts, certain training routines. He's like, listen, if we're going to do this and take it serious, we all have to do it together. I'm not going to be training to win majors and being at this level, and you're just kind of, doing your thing. He's like, so he kind of, and I like that. He took lead of his team. And from what I heard, again, speculation, interviews, whatever, Matthew Wolff was not happy. Particularly, they had like a pretty sizable loss for their team. And Brooks Koepka wanted to do like a punishment workout, which he does for himself.
Yeah.
If he doesn't win a major, he does a punishment workout, something that's
kind of awesome.
I love that idea. It's something where there is going to be pain for you not performing at your best. So there are consequences, not just like, oh, nice try, buddy, get him next year. It's like, no, we set out a goal. You did not achieve it. There are consequences. And he brought that into his team. And Matthew Wolff was just like, yeah, I guess after one of the workouts, he said he couldn't walk for like 3 days. He doesn't train at this level, apparently.
Absolutely.
I love his swing. He's got that, Matthew Wolff has that crazy swing where like the club comes up and then and he like tips his foot up and the whole thing. He wasn't interested. He was out.
You try to hook him up with Bob Harper.
Bob Harper. Wait, why? Hold on. Give me the connection here.
Biggest Loser. Workout.
Oh, Bob Harper.
I thought we were talking about Matthew Wolff's swing.
No.
Hold on. What do we know about Bob here?
My intrusive thought is like, I don't think anybody would do this, but man, there's no doubt that there's a possibility that you don't play as well because you do want to get traded, because you don't want to be on certain people's teams. And you're like, man, I would love to be on this guy's team rather than this guy's team. I highly doubt anybody's doing that, but...
Well, here's what's sad. Range Goats, Bubba Watson, who's up for relegation, Matthew Wolff, who wanted off Smash because he couldn't handle it, finished 1 spot ahead.
Oh, no way.
Of Koepka's team.
Ooh.
In second to dead last.
Like, this is what happens when I don't work out.
I know. That's brutal. Either way, I will say, because LIV Golf has gained a lot of momentum, I am very curious to see in this offseason how the teams remain or don't. I think that would be interesting because they're not these big organizations like, we're from Kansas City and you're from New York or whatever. And it's like you move away, bye. Like, we might see you one more time this year if we play you or something. It's like no, we kicked you off our team and we're standing next to you at the range like every week and you have to be in a different color and you're not with us anymore.
Do you know what would be cool is LIV Golf if they start doing like, if they're like, I don't know, just for a random one, like if it was like a Kansas City Smash or like a Chicago Cliques or like a London Range Goats or something like with cities. Well, I think that'd be cool.
Phil Mickelson talked about really taking his team to another level and not only just finding like a home training course, but actually building out a training facility.
Oh, that'd be a lot of fun.
That these guys, because what he said is a lot of these guys that are younger, sort of like the underlings in the team that, you've got your captains who've been around forever. A lot of these guys have won majors and all that. And then you've got the young guys, what's his name on Legion? Caleb Surratt, basically fresh out of college and now is on LIV Golf. Played really well in college. And instead of following the PGA Tour path, he got an offer from LIV and here he is. But he has not gone through the years of instruction that Phil Mickelson has gone through, or John Rahm or any of these guys. Phil Mickelson was talking about building an entire training facility so they can bring in the best coaches for the entire team.
Plus the camaraderie of hanging out at this facility all the time.
Oh, and having nutritionists and like physical therapists and all these things that somebody who's fresh out of college, probably got a very basic deal to get on LIV, is not affording to bring in world-class people to help him get to the level that would best help his team.
Sure.
And I think that's a brilliant idea where Phil Mickelson's already looking at this thing to say, hey, let's take our team really, really serious. Let's build a training facility, not only for us and our team, but also for the next sort of wave of golfers that we want to bring up into our team.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So he's even thinking like, minor leagues baseball here, like, calling somebody up from the cornfield team, which I think is very advanced thinking in this process, and I think is very cool.
Do you think LIV will have like a Corn Ferry Tour type thing? Or like a rookie showcase or like something like that?
I think it is impossible to predict the future of LIV. However, I think the level of interest it has, that's very possible.
I could see like a LIV qualification golf show.
I mean, they do. And at the beginning of the season, there is a way like where you can qualify into the tour and then you have to get picked up by a team or maybe you're a wild card, which there were a handful of players last year who qualified their way in. And actually two of the players, they're brothers, they're both under the relegation line and they're back out. So they qualified in, they made it through one season, did not keep enough points to stay in the tour. So they actually have to go back and attempt to re-qualify back into the tour.
Woof.
Wow.
That's brutal.
You know what I was thinking about with Phil? Like thinking about all those years that you are isolated, like Tiger, like who doesn't really even talk to anybody when he was the Terminator. Now you're in this group setting, and now you have to like vibe. It's like a scramble. Like when I'm playing by myself, like I'm in my own head, I know what I'm doing. But now you got a bunch of guys like putting ideas that you necessarily wouldn't have in your head, and you got to find a way to balance out the camaraderie, the socialness, and also get to your goal.
Right.
So it's like how much you give, how much you take, but especially as a leader like Phil, like that guy knows a lot.
Well, right. And at what point if it's like, well, I like to think of it this way. And he's like, yeah, I understand you do, but I'm telling you a better way.
Sure.
Like where you have to say, I'm going to set aside
my
ego and process and everything and be willing to come up better.
And when it's a guy like Phil telling you that, it's pretty easy to put your ego aside.
Yeah.
What has he got, like 46 wins in a Tiger era?
Yeah, multiple Masters, the whole thing.
I mean, that guy's amazing.
He is. He's a dominator.
That's my guy.
Phil, yeah,
he's a
you're lefty.
huge Phil guy.
Even though I couldn't get a picture with him, he's my guy.
And no one can be mad.
No.
He was in the middle of the round.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of players don't do autographs or pictures during a round. They say the same thing. He's like, I'll do them all after.
Sure.
I'll do them all after. Especially, and the more popular you are, the better you have to become at saying that.
Yeah, and it just sucks because he was like the last to tee off. I'm like, I ain't waiting at the end of this round. I'm like, okay, I saw him.
It took me from the age of, I believe, let's just call it 12, to get a picture with Tiger. I got like that little video I made, and he didn't stop. Like I just was lucky that he gave me a fist pound and I got it on video. So it took me like.
Do you still have this video?
100%.
Do you watch it frequently?
I think I show everybody that I just meet that video.
Have you ever printed screenshots and put them on the wall or anything? Or?
No. But I do screenshot it when the first guy gives Tiger the pound. He's like, and then like when I give Tiger the cop goes.
don't you?
It's like, I'll tase you, touch Tiger again. I'm like, bro, my outfit's all Tiger Woods. Like,
You
I
ever see
deserve
those videos of Putin where like someone will go to take a picture and they put their arm around him,
Oh,
and
no
the
way.
bodyguard walks up but from behind and takes the arm and takes it off of him.
No way.
And they have to just like stand there like
I
this.
saw that with Jared Leto.
I'm just imagining like Putin level security for Tiger, where like you like go to touch him and they like snap your forearm or something.
Well,
you know,
I
who
mean,
knows?
you got to be careful with Tiger now. You touch him, you might be hurting him.
Another surgery. I mean, everything. Oh my goodness. Can we wave a magic wand and have
Oh my God.
like the whole bodied Tiger
We need-
back?
we need-
Tiger does not
Tiger-
get in that accident. Tiger comes back and wins like 3 more PGAs and definitely a major somewhere.
Yeah.
Like without a doubt, that for him to come back after that leg experience, it's just he is the Terminator, and his mental grit is just beyond anybody.
And we've seen the pictures of his leg when it's exposed
yeah.
and uncovered. I mean, it's hamburger meat. It's crazy. It's not even shaped right. Like his calf muscle is like shaped like a block.
Well, you've seen the fake like picture where they like computer generated what the breaks look like, and where
Yes.
I mean, it was insane. It was
And-
absolutely insane.
In that interview, and I've talked about this 10,000 times, but the fact that Tiger, when he came out in the interview and said amputation was a discussion that was on the table.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I can't even wrap my mind around the thought of we get this press conference announcement that Tiger would, 75% of his leg has been removed.
Do you think he would still golf?
100%.
I think it would be like, it's like when they kind of wheel out these old timers to take like the honorary opening tee shot.
You wouldn't think that
I
he
think
would
we would
be
get stuff like that.
better quicker, because I mean now he has no pain in that leg.
Like those.
No, you get shadow pain.
Really?
Yeah, so my buddy in college, his girlfriend's dad has his arm's gone, and he gets pain.
He lost it. Like he wasn't born without it. It was lost at some point. Okay.
yeah, and he gets shadow pain.
That's insane.
Yeah, or like if you're paralyzed, you could still get shadow pain in your legs. Where,
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah,
That is so weird.
it's a weird
Here,
thing.
you can't use these things, but we're gonna give you pain in them.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's.
Could you imagine like a shadow itch? You're like, oh, it's just so bad.
So I'm numb from here to here on my bottom lip because of my jaw surgeries for reattaching nerves.
That's in.
So if I have like barbecue sauce or like food right here, I can't feel it.
No idea.
No, I'm
There's just like
yeah.
a French fry caught in there and just hanging out, stinking. It's kind of
Yes.
like ejecting, as you say, like
So-
funny
It's
words.
dribbling out, and he doesn't
Sometimes
even
I
know it.
like go like that. And I'm like,
gotta-
get a little snack.
A little sweep check.
Yeah,
You found like a
little
cheese it in
snack,
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's why I can't eat seeds.
Are you guys planning on tuning into the President's Cup this weekend?
I'm
100%.
hoping to.
Yeah.
I should have time.
I read an interesting statistic yesterday. I found this wonderful. They say Scotty Scheffler himself this year has more wins, 8, than all 23 other competitors in the entire President's Cup. Not just U.S. team, not just international team. The entire, both teams all together have a combined total of 7 wins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Speaking of,
Is it going to be a bloodbath?
I hope
yeah,
so.
I have a feeling it
I-
is.
I
but
hope so.
we have something we have to say about the President's Cup.
Yeah. You know what? Please do.
We apologize.
Oh, yes. I'm so glad you bring this up.
Yeah, we
All
messed
right.
up.
Let me take everybody through this. We were going through the teams for the President's Cup, and we're just reading, and we're like, there was this glaring moment where we realized, we're like, man, some of the the great players from what we thought should be on the international team are missing. We're like, where's Rory? Where's Victor Hovland? Where's Ludwig Oberg? They're Europeans.
That's my fault.
Europeans are excluded from the international team on President's Cup years.
I get it now. Okay.
I know. We're just sitting there like, it was more of just like looking at a list of names that were missing, not sort of recognizing the format for it. And we thought whatever.
That's more ignorance on my part because I'm the one who writes down these things. And I didn't see that part.
All right. Either way,
We forgive you. We love you.
you just want to play a game?
Yeah, let's play a game.
Do it.
You want to play a game?
You want to play a game?
I want to play a game. Okay. All right. This is called ChatGPT Hot Takes. Yesterday, I asked ChatGPT to combine a list of what it felt were hot takes in the world of golf. So we are going to be weighing in here as a group on these hot takes that an AI feels is just on the cutting edge of hot takes in the world of golf. Some of these, I think it's pretty close. I think other ones of these remind me that it's going to be a while before AI takes over the world because it knows nothing about hot takes in golf. Either way, if you are ready, ladies and gentlemen, and viewers at home, feel free to play along. Here is our number one ChatGPT hot take for golf. Courses should get rid of the random pairing system.
I think so. I 100% think so.
No, absolutely not. I'm biased.
I side with Gary.
See,
And I don't like playing with other people. I don't. I prefer, if it was up to me.
We definitely know that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys want to play? And Dan's like,
why do you do this, Gary?
oh,
Why?
I forgot.
All right, Josh, take us down your road first.
well, one, my game's not good enough to be showing it off to random people.
Okay.
And two, I'm not a people person, man.
Okay.
Like I'm not a especially like big crowds. Not a fan of big crowds.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Meeting new people is sometimes, especially if it's not like, if it's just like a one-off thing, kind of like that. It's like, I don't need to meet you. Like I don't need to get to know you.
It's very personal for you.
Yeah,
Has nothing to do with pace of play, the golf course.
No, yeah.
Keeping movement. Gary, why don't you go ahead and take us down your thought process here and why you disagree with this ChatGPT hot take.
Can I first elaborate on this?
Please.
I understand that, and a lot of like good golfers want to see you do good. Like if you were to get paired with me, you might get a lot of like good tips, so you might become better. And
Yeah.
and I could kind of vibe like what your energy is, so I would probably like leave you alone or whatever. But like, one, greatness isn't achieved in your comfort zone. So being comfortable, being uncomfortable will make you a better golfer. And you might learn something, but I totally and completely understand where you're coming from. For me, I travel a lot for golf and like have fun and like, South Carolina, Texas, Vegas, and Florida. So like I'm continuously having to play with people I don't know. And I just pray to God that like it's a dude's dude or like, somebody that I could relate with, or like older guys that like are like 70 and 60. They are the most fun to play with.
Yeah.
They just love the game.
Oh, and they talk mad shit like right off the bat, and you're like, oh, we're gonna go there right now, this quick. I'm like, I'm game. So like, I love it, especially because I don't have people to play with in certain areas.
Yeah.
So for me, it's really fun. But yeah.
All right. Coming from my side, I think of it as more of a logistical and pace of play issue.
True. That's 100%. Yes.
And this is where I look at it.
Yes.
Saturday morning, Sunday morning, tee sheets full, and you've got a single and a twosome, and then a foursome, and then a threesome, and then another single, and all this. And people are playing at all these different paces, and it feels like, oh, the foursome's playing too slow. I need to let this group play through, and then 2 holes later, I'm letting another group play through. And there's these people are waiting, and these people are not. And there's even like those moments of, well, we're a foursome and they're a threesome, and I just always keep looking back, and they're sitting in the fairway. They're just sitting in their cart. There's nothing they can do. We're playing at a proper pace of the course at a foursome, and I think that ultimately courses would have less of that congested feeling where people are like, well, these tee times are 8 minutes apart. They're 10 minutes. They need to be 20 minutes apart. It's like, but if everybody was playing in a foursome, a proper foursome, and that's how groups were moving, and then you have a quick group that you're going to let play through periodically, so be it.
Sure.
But it's not like, should we let this single through? Should we let this twosome through? No, they're still putting forever. So now I'm like, half my mind's on the last hole, half my mind's on the next hole, and I'm trying to sort of play guardian of pace of play here. So for that reason, I feel like that the random pairing system should be used more. Come actually from the opposite side.
I have one more take on this one, and then
I make
we'll
it
move
quick
on.
because I got a lot here.
So it's even worse when you have like a 3-man, and
Yeah.
they add a 4th. Like when you're with your boys, and you add a 4th random.
I never disagree with adding people to a group. I just don't. I really don't. And I even so much so, the way it used to go, if you were a single golfer, you would get there early, you would wait by the starter, and they would plug you into the very next group that does not have 4 people.
Yeah.
And there would be a line of singles or doubles or whatever it is waiting without tee times, so that way they can keep filling in to keep everybody foursomes. I play with my father-in-law a lot. He grew up playing in an earlier time of golf, and that's what he said. He goes, I would just come out on Saturday mornings and wait by the starter. I would just putt. And sometimes you like leave a golf ball and they put them in order, and then they just pull up the next call. Okay, who's playing whatever, or your name or whatever. And then you would just get called up. So we might be putting for 30 minutes, could be 40 minutes, could be an hour, until a spot open, and then they just plug you in. No tee time needed, no nothing. And to me, I think that is so much better than having a single on the tee sheet. And that's their time. And then 2 people on the tee sheet, and then 3 people. Whereas instead, who even knows, maybe this doesn't make sense, but unless you have a foursome, you put in how many people you have in the window you want to play, and then somebody orchestrates that tee sheet and goes, okay, cool, you can play between 8 and 9. We're going to put you in at the 8:20. There's another twosome. That makes 4. Boom, you guys go. That's my opinion. I think pace of play, foursomes, filling the course, all of that. That's why, oh my God, what did I just do? Josh, what just happened here?
I don't know.
I think it's because I scooted over. Did I scoot over?
It's funny. Every time that I get paired with like a husband and wife, the wife at the end of the round always says the same thing. She goes, "You're the first good player to play with us that wasn't a jerk."
The first good player?
Like that wasn't a jerk.
Is that an honor?
I feel, well, the bar's pretty low if that's like the goal. Don't be a jerk.
All right.
You're
fine.
good.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's move along. All right. Number 2 on the ChatGPT hot takes. Dress codes are outdated and unnecessary. Throw it to you, Josh.
It's a catch-22 because some courses, like, of course, if you're going to like a super nice uppity course,
Yeah.
of course, dress up. But if you're going to like, you know, your public,
Yeah.
and you can
Black
tell
Hawk
they,
in Texas.
yeah, you can tell they just don't really take care of it the best.
So
or like,
what
if it's not
is your instant reaction? Dress codes are outdated and unnecessary. Do you agree or disagree? Or it's conditional and there's really no one?
There's really no one.
Gary?
Dude, we got so many people that are undisciplined and there's no integrity, like just out in the world, that we should have a place where like you should be wearing a collar. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like untucked shirt, whatever. But,
Or like the Tiger Woods mock
Yeah,
collar.
that's fine.
You know, something like that.
but the other day, like I was watching, I was in a scramble where a guy had a cowboy hat on, unbuttoned shirt with his stomach out. And I'm like, dude, this is golf.
yeah.
Go home.
Here's what I think. My personal opinion. I feel like, sort of like at the gym,
Yeah.
like you could wear athletic wear, but there's still like an expectation. You're not going to be like, usually at the gym, it's like you should probably keep your shirt on, things like
Please.
that, generally speaking. You're not going to wear like the world's dirtiest shoes and track mud in here. You should wear like some nice gym shoes. I think in golf, my personal opinion, that there should be room for dressing a little more athletic,
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's, yeah, 100%.
but still nice.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
100%.
However, I do respect at nicer courses, high-end courses, that they want to keep a code of conduct. And I feel like, it's almost harder to be an asshole when you're wearing a suit.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like,
You just have this demeanor and this placebo that you're like, this better version of yourself.
that's what I think. I don't necessarily think that dress codes are outdated and unnecessary, because I don't think that playing on a Saturday morning, you got a foursome, you're playing in your group, and the guys ahead of you are in like swim trunks, flip flops, and no shirt on.
Oh, God, no. Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I just don't feel like
yeah.
they're. I don't know.
I just recently started wearing shorts.
Maybe this is me just getting old. It could be.
We are pretty old.
Maybe
now.
there's like a 18-year-old version of me that's like, listen, I'll beat you any day of the week in my swim trunks. Whatever. All right, moving on. Club fitting is overrated. Any decent golfer can play with standard clubs. Josh, you're shaking your head.
Hell no, because I feel like my clubs are too long,
Yeah.
and that.
So you feel that potentially even a club fitting for you could help improve the situation.
Yeah.
Here's my question. Let's take somebody like Shaq
Oh, my God.
and somebody like Simone Biles.
Okay.
Do you think they need the same golf clubs?
Absolutely not.
Are they going to grab a set of standard length clubs and off the shelf and then playing golf. So different people are different heights, arm lengths, swing style, flexibility. Look at Michael Phelps.
Oh my
like
God.
one of the most flexible people on the planet. Like when you see his golf swing, like looks like he is like spaghetti noodles, like that just move. And then you look at like Charles Barkley, you know what I mean? Where like nothing really moves. It's like, Tinker Toys.
Especially the ball.
I disagree with that. Let's keep going. I think you're on board with that. Thank you. All right. Oh, I hate to even read this one. ChatGPT hot take number 4. Augusta National is overrated.
Wow.
In terms of what?
Yeah.
It's like saying Tiger Woods is overrated.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Unanimous disagreement?
Yes.
Kick this out of here. Again, some of these hot takes remind me that we are in no way anywhere near an AI takeover.
He disagrees also.
Firmly, strongly. All right. Weekend warriors do not need to follow every single rule of golf. You know what?
You hit it out of bounds, drop it there. No reteat. That's a for sure thing.
Yeah.
Give yourself a shot too, almost. Yeah, 100%.
Here's what I think. I 100% agree with this, but don't come afterwards and tell me your score.
100%.
Don't be like, dude, I shot 79. It's like, no, listen, I agree. I mean, here's where I agree the most. Your club is sitting next to a root.
Oh, yeah.
We're not out here breaking clubs.
No,
I don't have a tour truck replacing my 7-iron so I can come back out here and play for 3 more days. It's not happening. Like, and Gary, you know this more than anybody, if you lose a club, it's devastating.
It's devastating.
Gary, what clubs do you currently have in your bag or are missing from your bag?
I'm missing my 6-iron and my 8-iron. And the last year and a half, I've gone through 3 lob wedges and 3 52s and 3 rangefinders. So
Yeah.
whoever's got them, I hope you're
Do you think it's like
enjoying them.
one person, they're just laughing?
Just following me everywhere. He's a piece of shit.
Like using 3 rangefinders at once?
Everybody.
These are mine. Okay. Yeah, I would agree. Weekend golfers, if you're out playing a casual round, relax, have fun. You don't have to follow every single ridiculous rule of golf. However, the caveat to that is don't brag about your score, though. Okay. Moving right along. Hot take number 6. Winter golf is better than summer golf?
It depends on how you take this.
In which state?
I was just about to say that. I'm like, in Illinois.
Because if I'm playing Arizona golf in the winter or Texas golf in the winter, it's perfect weather.
Us all being, locals here to the state of Illinois,
Oh, yeah.
traveling and playing golf during the winter is so special.
I need to do that.
It is so special. It feels like this golf that shouldn't exist. It's like it's a gift from
It's
heaven.
like getting
naughty.
extra years on your life.
It really is, and not your life sentence, but your living life.
And when you're driving there sometimes and you get that transition to where like, oh, I could open my window now.
Yes.
Oh, I could turn the heat off.
I could use all 3 of Gary's rangefinders that I found.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It is December, and so okay. Here's the other thing though. If somehow randomly there was a day you could golf in the middle of winter here in Illinois,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty special too.
That would be.
Like it's crap, but now just because today is nice.
It's just cold.
63 degrees in January somehow.
About 4 years ago, I golfed on my New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, and my birthday. It
Wow.
was all 60
Wait, when's your
degrees,
birthday?
January 4th. It was 60 degrees. I wore polo. It was like unfathomably awesome.
So where do we land on winter golf is better than summer golf?
You're insane. Were you psycho? You're
Yeah.
crazy. You deserve to just slap more than the guy that has my rangefinders even.
Cool. Number 7. Golf should be a contact sport. Let players physically block or challenge each other.
Like what? Are we playing dodgeball? Are we playing football?
What is this, basketball?
Dude, and you are such a sitting duck when you're standing over your ball.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because like you have the world's blocked out. Like I like
And then here comes me tackling you.
out of nowhere.
You see those videos with the golf carts.
Yeah. Oh. Dude, yeah. Like
Had that happen.
where there's like the only thing in frame is a person like about to hit a shot or hitting a shot, and then out of nowhere a cart just comes like
Like a guy like
plowing
Brooks
in.
Koepka, you're
My
like,
buddies are
where is
one of
he?
them, man. If they want to get you, they're going to try to get you. And they've almost got me a couple times.
I cannot explain to you the level of life ending that would be for somebody if they did that to me. Like,
Yeah.
I would not find anything about it fun or funny. And unfortunately, it would be an instant Zyre Golf fight clip on the golf course. Because, and I think about this all the time, I swear, I think about this too much, that an action I'm doing, does this put me in jeopardy of not being able to play golf?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, again, you talked about basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, there are so many things in life where I'm just like, wait a second. Is this worth not being able to play golf?
I remember we were in the cart and you were grabbing balls for me. And like one time I kind of was trying to push you out actually. And then I realized, no, I want him to play golf. I can't get him hurt. Like, this is my favorite person to play golf with. Like, I need this person. Plus, I don't want him to rebuttal and like come back and,
You ruined my week. I ruined your year.
Oh, yeah.
Taking years off your life. Okay. Let's see here. I like this one. Golf should be played at night under the lights more often.
Dude, like,
Yeah.
why do we not have a million courses with lights?
Right, like just throw them up on like the front nine, the back nine, like whatever.
No,
like
all of
just or maybe all of them. It's a big investment. I'm just saying,
Start
like
with 9.
to get going,
Oh my
like
God,
just
yeah.
throw some lights up.
The only one we got is Des Plaines Night Golf here in Illinois. And
Yeah.
it's a 9-hole course, but I only need like 4 clubs to play that course. I want to play driver.
Yeah.
Like, let's go play like Cog Hill at night. Oh my God.
Remember the event we were at in Orlando?
Oh yeah, that was great.
There was some night golf there.
Yes, that
And
was Orange golf course.
Orange Lake, Orange.
Yeah, it was the
Orange-
Legends course.
Yeah, Legends course at Orange Lake, I think,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that, near
Orange
Orlando.
Lake.
Yeah.
Is there one downtown too?
Not that I'm aware of.
No,
thought
they have
there was
Sydney,
one.
Merowich, and they have a driving range that's open to like 10 o'clock, I believe, with the lights.
Yeah,
was sick,
it's
though.
so much fun. It's
a blast.
Like even just this idea of like, I'm gonna have some dinner, load my clubs up,
Oh my
head
God.
out, go at the range, warm up, play a round of golf. And like tea time is like 9-10 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
That is so fun. I think there should be way more of it, and I really would love, I don't know, some more golf courses to experiment with this idea of throwing some lights out there on a few holes, on 9 holes.
They make more money.
You know what I mean? I don't know how the economics of that work, the running all that electrical and lights and all that stuff. I don't know how much money they need to make back for that to be worth it. Listen, I'm not an economist, but what I am is an avid golfer who would love to play at night.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're moving right along. We're getting near the bottom of the list here. Oh, this is very personal to me. Tee markers should be personalized for different levels of play, not just based on gender or age, which I made a video about this like 2 weeks ago. We've discussed it on the pod, so I find it very interesting that ChatGPT found this to be a hot take. Gary, I'm going to pass this to you. Tee markers should be personalized for different levels of play, not just based on age or gender. So I in my interpretation of this, they're talking about handicap.
Well, first and foremost, I agree with that statement on age and gender because I golf with numerous girl golfers that would whoop everybody's ass.
Yes.
Like, I'm talking 275-yard drives.
Yes.
Like they are amazing. And to like put it into a category like they are less than is completely wrong and insulting. So like that's a good reason to why they should have it with handicaps. A second reason is like a lot of guys play tees that they shouldn't, and that's where pace of play comes in.
Yeah.
And you should like have to like kind of prove it, but not really. But like have a system in order to like, because think about that, like telling a starter your handicap and he moves you, like that's a bad vibe in the morning.
I would agree. Well, okay. In the video, some of the comments were like, so I'm playing Saturday morning and all 4 of us should play from different tees.
No, that's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Yes.
I mean, I would agree. So how do you balance that out?
Because like who's going to watch your shot, and then that takes up more time.
Right, and does the better golfer move forward?
Better
Do the
golfer
lesser
moves forward.
golfers? And so that's just his choice because he picked these guys he can't play from the tees that he, was appropriated.
I'll tell you something. So I've played from the red tees, the tips, and whatever tee is before the tips. I float around, and
You're a floater.
yeah. And I'll tell you something,
They all
man.
float down here.
All 3, no matter where you stand on the tee box, you're still gonna have a good ass time. Like
I
no
agree.
matter what. Like,
But where you stand on the tee box could affect my good ass time if I'm in the group behind you.
Oh yeah,
That's
was
the issue.
So last time we played from the tips.
Yeah.
and I was scared of that.
But
And
you're
what'd you
playing a
guys-
scramble, you said.
What'd you guys shoot?
We still shot like over 100, but it wasn't like we were stuck in the tee box or like we were making really good drives. It was just after the drives we were
Here to
messing
me
up.
though is I don't know, not the lie, but the misconception of a lot of people who like, listen, my problem isn't the tee box. I'm shooting 100, but it's from 100 and in. It's around the green. It's putting. It's this and that. I'm sorry, but if you're shooting over 100, your drives are not as consistent as you think they are. They're just not.
You need to be,
No.
yeah.
I mean, I wasn't
Gary,
striking
you're
every
nowhere near the
fairway.
mic. I couldn't hear what you
I know.
said.
Yeah, you definitely need to be at white tees if you're shooting 100
Yeah,
minimum.
I think so. So, and
was a
seeing that
challenge,
in the
that's why I did it.
comments where they're like,
Well, as long as you're like not upholding, and I'm sure you were aware of this because you're a nice play kid. Like I'm sure, and you were playing a
Kid.
scramble. Well, what are you like 20 something?
26.
Mentally, I'm
kid.
like 95, so 15 most of the time.
I'm 161 in golf years. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're gonna move right along. I feel like we're all pretty clear on that.
Yeah.
This is so dumb. There's no need to yell for. Golfers should always be aware of their surroundings. What?
Yeah, all those
In what
potheads that
world?
are shotgunning beers, they're so observant, like without a
And
doubt.
It's like I'm playing my hole. I'm focused on the wind, the distance,
Yeah.
what club. I'm standing over the ball. I'm looking down. I'm visualizing my shot. I'm getting ready to take a backswing, and you slice your tee shot 2 fairways over, and I'm supposed to know
Yeah.
every time. I'm never allowed to not be just like,
Ridiculous.
okay, I'm gonna swing. Oh, okay, because I have to be aware of my surroundings, and nobody's yelling for. That is insanity. I think
Who even brought that up?
it's a ChatGPT hot take.
okay.
Whatever. Again, like I said, I feel like at this point we are very far from AI taking over the world. If this is what it thinks golf hot takes are,
okay.
unless these are written in a way to manipulate our minds to allow
AI to take over so we get hit by golf balls, so it's less people to take out when
maybe
they
that's what it
Terminator
is.
us.
It is shaping
Without
our
a doubt.
future here.
I can tell you're not an AI guy.
I think it's amazing, but there's just been way too many movies that we like AI, like what Terminator, the Will Smith one. Like, get out of here! Like, I'm not about to be taken over by this nonsense, dude. Wow, no way.
I've seen a lot of movies.
I've seen a lot of movies with a lot of AI. And the evolution is not good for us.
All right, so if we're going to base life on movies, is AI going to kill us first, or the aliens going to show up first?
The aliens probably think
Aliens are already here.
The aliens are.
That's
the
a whole
AI.
different
We
conversation.
are getting
That
into,
is the
Let's not-
embodiment of the AI brain from a previous, more advanced species.
We're in the weeds here.
We're deep in the
We're
weeds.
deep in the weeds.
I love AI. I love it. If you're listening, AI, we're friends. Don't take me over. I'm on your team. Okay, last but not least, final one of the show. You should be able to rake a bunker, if not raked, from the group before you.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And you should like,
But you can't. But you should be able to.
especially if you're.
I
in
would
a
agree with
footprint,
that.
Come on.
Yeah.
Even if I'm playing for money and you are like, Gary, look at this, I'd be like, bro, go ahead. Like, that's just unfair.
It is.
And especially with the divot in the middle of the fairway, that's just unfair. You do
I
not
think
deserve
these go into the same conversation.
Without a doubt.
You bring up a great point. I think one of them is more malicious than the other.
Which
I
was
think
more malicious? The
Not
fairway?
raking the bunker.
Oh, yeah.
Because if I hit into a divot, I hit my ball.
Yeah.
And maybe there was no piece of grass to put back. It exploded. Maybe the carts don't have the little sand mix to put in there, which still isn't fair if you're hitting on a sand mix when you've hit it onto the fairway. But I can't affect the way the turf is after I struck the ball, and then you happen to hit into that same spot. That's just terrible luck for you. I do feel like you should get to move the ball. But not raking a bunker,
It's just disrespectful.
it's disrespectful. And I think that's a lot more malicious. It's like, I am just like, you know what? It was fine for me, but screw everyone else.
Yeah.
Like, I am just, I see the rake over there. I understand probably that this is my job to clean it up and put it back to the way it was for the next person to.
And even going further into that, the rules with the rake. If you are at a place like a country club, they have like, if the rake's outside the bunker, you keep it outside the bunker. If it's inside the bunker, you keep it inside the bunker. If it's halfway in, halfway out, you do that. That's how I was taught rake placement.
I wonder how that's decided. Is it
I never knew that was a thing.
Oh yeah, totally. It's totally a thing. And then you always have to wonder, like, where was it before the last guy set it down? Am I repeating the placement of the last guy or of where the course wants it?
Now, are you allowed to move it out of your way, or you got to keep it there?
If
Like, okay, so
If your
on
ball's like against it.
on your video with Thomas,
yeah,
you had a rake right there. You almost hit it.
yeah.
Were you able to move that rake after you hit, or before you hit, or did you have to work around that?
Well, I know, like, because if your ball comes to rest against the rake, of course, like, you're calling over rules and putting a tee in the ground and all that stuff, but you get to move the rake. It is a movable object. You know what I mean? It's not a part of man-made movable object. If it is in front of your shot, now I know, like, I still think you get to move it. And
Just
this is where
don't
you get
touch
into
the
the weeds.
sand with like your club picking it up, and don't touch the sand with your fingertips picking it up, because you, in a crazily like rule setting environment, they will call you, I think.
Yeah, because you've touched or manipulated the sand,
That's
even
not
though the
even by
rake
the
was
ball.
like way over there and all that.
I always try to put the rake where it's not going to disrupt people too on their next shot.
Yeah, rakes are a lot.
Moving on.
All right, that was the last one. That's it for the game show. AI,
That's
I don't
fun.
know. I think you need to get out and play some more rounds of golf. Some of your hot takes are a little off. Some of these I agree with. I don't. Augusta National, overrated. Get out of here. What are you
Right.
doing? Go jump off an AI bridge. Good luck with that.
Are you shooting under 100 at Augusta from the tips?
No, not a chance. I don't. If I'm playing the tips at Augusta, am I shooting under 100?
But your drives are so good.
I just don't think that I have the experience or training for the Augusta greens.
You have a caddy from Augusta that helps you read putts.
I would say if I could have a lot of time practicing on the practice greens.
I have faith in you that you could guaranteed do that, if not shoot under 90.
What about that? The most pressure you've ever felt scenario.
Would you feel that there?
I would feel a very intense amount of pressure playing at Augusta, because I'm assuming that it is a very fortunate situation that I got to be there, and I am around other people who are involved in this fortunate situation, and I think I would be so terrified to like take a beaver pelt out of the fairway and ruin a piece of Augusta.
Come on, you would put it in your pocket and bring it home with you.
Like, honey, look, and I pull out this big slab
You're, like,
of
watering
filthy
it
grass.
with-
I'll tell you something. I feel like I wouldn't belong. I walk in there and be like, oh, how did I get here?
What would you wear?
Oh, I'd wear
Close.
I wear what I wore the last week's podcast, my smash stuff.
Swim trunks and an open button shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine?
And flippers.
Yes. And flippers.
Remember
Scuba
what they
Steve?
told Ricky when he had his hat backwards? It's like, Mr. Fowler, this is Augusta National. Got to put your hat forward.
Yes, Mr. Augusta National.
Very sorry. Yes.
All right, guys. That's it for the show. That's it for the game. Gary, thank you again. Couldn't reach. For joining us on the pod. That is it for this week. Folks, be sure to do whatever you want. Press like, press follow, or just go play more golf. And until then, and for now, that is it for the Dan's Golf World Podcast.